morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dice Star. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
I'm Joey Evans.
And we normally do the news as part of our board game smorgasbord show that we do each Thursday. There is no board game smorgasbord tomorrow because of the top 100s. Board game smorgasbord will return next week. But there is so much news. We've got to talk about the news. So we're doing a special live broadcast about so much news, so much money in the industry.
The lot.
Where's that money at?
Not in our pockets.
Oh, I got once again. World, thanks, universe. I love you too.
It is in some people's pockets, so let's take a look.
I'm
Here we
interested.
go. Let's start with the biggest money of all. Embracer Group, who are rich. Well, maybe not.
They're rich. They're rich, Tom.
All right,
What did they do?
Embracer Group is the company that owns Asmodee. They actually own several different groups. They have 11 groups. Their biggest groups, they have like a PC console group, which
Video
includes
gaming.
a lot of different video games, Gearbox being one of them. That's a pretty big company. Coffee Stain. They also have a mobile game. And then they have an entertainment and services, which has Dark Horse Media.
Oh,
They also own like the company that owns the rights to Lord of the Rings. And Asmodee. And Asmodee is one of their better groups, so they're splitting it into 3 groups. Well, they actually sold Gearbox for $460 million.
Got them out of there.
They also sold Saber Interactive for $247 million.
Don't know who that is. Get them out of there.
No.
Anyway, so there's gonna be 3 groups left over: Coffee Stain and Friends. That's such a weird name for a thing. Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends, and then Asmodee.
And friends.
So the thing that has everyone online screaming about this is that they transferred a good chunk of Embracer Group's debt to Asmodee, and people are like, they're trying to tank Asmodee. I don't understand how billion-dollar companies work, so I don't know everything. But from what I've read on the subject, they're basically Asmodee's doing the best, so they're going to get better rates and stuff with this debt being in Asmodee.
Yeah. Oh, what I thought it was, and again, I don't know much about this, but from what I understand is they move debt around from one company to another one because if it is new debt, then you have a certain amount of time where that debt is interest-free or something like that. And so this company wasn't in debt, now is in debt, and has some time to get out of that debt without sort of it compounding. That's what I thought. I understood, but I could be wrong. Again, we are not statisticians or economy people.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen a lot of armchair people, but again, this is kind of beyond most of our things. Now, I mean, what does this mean for Asmodee in the future? Who knows? We'll find out in a year or two.
See, like one of those things that, like, I know Disney did it for a while, moving debt from their streaming to their theater and back and forth, and just kind of in a financial way that somehow made sense in the back end, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. If you are mega rich, then I guess that's a move you do, and it makes sense for you, and it keeps you rich.
Well, we can only go down money-wise from here, so let's go to Goliath, who is now living up to their name. They just bought Prospero Hall.
David.
Or Funko.
That's right.
A game thing from
Funko
Funko.
games, yeah.
And he essentially fired everybody. Not fired, but laid off a good chunk of the team who went off to start their own company. Now, sorry, I'm already behind on the jokes. Ha ha. But anyhow, Goliath now has bought Lucky Duck Games. So Goliath and Lucky Duck, this seems different than the Prospero Hall acquisition, or the Funko acquisition, because it doesn't look like they're getting rid of the staff at Lucky Duck Games.
Good.
Everybody's crowing about this. They're saying Lucky Duck has high quality. Goliath has mostly kids. Yay, we're all one big happy family. Everyone on the internet is cheering about this. I am not as... I'm cautious. And I'll tell you why I'm cautious. Because this has never happened, as far as... Maybe you can correct me. Where a big company bought a little company, and it turned out in the long run to be good for the little company.
Pixar.
In board gaming.
Never mind. Back out.
Because Asmodee bought Plaid Hat. Plaid Hat was like, this is amazing. They went in there, and Plaid Hat's like, actually, we were kidding. We're going back. Z-Man got bought. Zev left Z-Man Games, and then it just got... There's barely a Z-Man Games even existing these days.
Sure.
All the companies Asmodee bought, are they better off now? A lot of them also have left. And
I think the problem is whenever a big company and big money is on the line, then any company that gets bought up by them, if they were experimental in any way and they took risks, you're going to see less of that.
Right.
Which
Right?
is
It's like
sad,
becoming
yeah.
a AAA video game studio. They will make Assassin's Creed 16. They will not make a weird indie game. Or like, they won't take a risk is my point. And it checks out. Asmodee will take very few risks. Anything that doesn't, make a whole lot of money, they trim that out and go back to a proven thing. Lord of the Rings stuff. Pandemic, which is a moneymaker. I mean, Ticket to Ride. Stuff that they can bank on. That's the thing. And I think Lucky Duck was a somewhat experimental company.
Just somewhat, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the concern there. Is Goliath going to go, well, maybe don't do that because it might not work. That's the worry.
But they're saying they're going to keep it separate, right?
They are, and you know what? Maybe they will. Maybe everything will go well. We won't know again for years later to see what happens. So far, the Lucky Duck staff all seems on board, and I'm glad for Lucky Duck. I like the people there a lot. I don't know the Goliath people very well, but the Lucky Duck people, I'm a big fan of that. The owner and the staff there, and they've done so well. I mean, Lucky Duck has exploded in growth over the last 2 years. They went from being, kind of a small company to being fairly big in the industry, hired lots of employees and stuff. So let's hope this works out well for them.
Even Lucky Duck was saying Goliath, and I don't know anything about Goliath, but in their post they were like, Goliath is a great company. It's a family-run company. It's, I think they are saying it's a big company that feels like a small one. I don't know. I don't know anything about Goliath. Hopefully, again.
That's a little corporate speak, though. People always say that stuff. Family run. I mean, if the Rockefellers are running that, that's still.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, though. We'll see. Hopefully, it works out well. But we're not done with acquisitions. The next one I'm actually excited about. Simon bought Japan Brand. So Japan Brand has been coming to Essen, and I don't know if you remember, there was a few years there where that was where the stampede was to the Japan Brand.
Goodness.
Because they would bring in, they'd be like, we have 100 games. And people were like, what? And they would run for them.
They would sell out day one out of pretty much everything.
So we got one of Japan Brand's games I'm very pleased about that we got early was the Onitama. That was from them.
Oh, wow.
And their first game that they made a big hit with, I remember, are Eco and Fairy Tale.
Yes,
and Z-Man picked up those games at the beginning and started selling them. And different companies have licensed them. Let's see, some of them.
Yeah, Japan Brand was at Gen Con last year. They had the new R Eco. And they had a couple of other games. Yeah, what else?
Love Letter is probably the biggest one that came with AEG.
Right.
So anyhow, this is interesting to me because this to me is a little bit different because than the other one. I'm more excited about this one, not because of Simon per se, but I think it just means that these games will be more easily accessible now.
Yeah, I'm curious, and I wonder what this is going to mean for these games that used to be a little harder to find. Are they getting a CMON treatment? Is CMON merely, I mean, from what they said, and again, this is very corporate speak, they were like, oh, Japan Brand will now be able to use our infrastructure and blah, blah, blah to have the reach that blah, blah, blah. Great. What does that mean? Are they just making their own games that look the way they always did, but they get to more places? You know, how does this all shake out?
Definitely, though, that's the case, because Japan Brand was definitely run on a wing and a prayer to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy would always show up, and the guy who runs it would just show up at Essen, and then there were a bunch of other people, and they had like suitcases full of games and stuff. It's kind of cool, you know, but, you know, if you're going to grow, you got to do something like this. We'll see. We're still not done. Chip Theory Games.
Who'd they buy?
Oh.
They bought Manny Tremblay, but they bought Neon Night Games, which is not even...
What have they done?
I'm like, well, nothing. They have an upcoming Kickstarter called Neon... what's it called?
Night.
No, it's not called Neon Night. It's called Neon...
Day?
Oh, sorry. I forget what the upcoming game is going to be called. Anyway, it's called Neon something. Anyway...
Doesn't matter. It's basically Tremblay's company.
Manny Tremblay, who is probably... Let's see, what would people best known for? His art in...
Dice Thrones.
Dice Thrones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's a great artist. He also designed... I think he designed Dice Thrones too, didn't he?
I don't know if he did he?
He definitely was the lead designer on the X-Men one.
Oh, okay. And then he does...
Neon Rain. Thank you, Mike.
Radlands. He did artwork for that. I
Yeah.
don't think he was the designer, but yeah.
So Chip Theory jumped in. I guess maybe he announced his own studio. Well, he did announce his own studio, right? And did this. And then they're like, how about you work with us? Seems like a cool pairing. But I feel like this is more them getting him than getting the company, because the company barely exists.
Yeah.
So,
which is cool. I do wonder if this means he is no longer going to be working with Roxley then. Because he did a lot of work with Roxley. Does this mean that that's done? I wonder.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. All right. We're still not done with acquisitions. Monolith. Now, this is a little bit different. They didn't buy anything. The Paris Commercial Court has officially assigned to Monolith all the property rights relating to all of the production of the defunct Rackham company. So Rackham, Monolith is the people who make Conan and the Batman games. You might know them as the company who can't make good rule books.
Yes.
I like their stuff. But definitely, let's see what Rackham has.
Well, they
made.
have one. They're the ones who made that Claustrophobia 1643 remake, and for that alone, they got my love.
So Rackham has just made a bunch of stuff. Russian Crush was from them.
Russian Crush, baby! Blast from the past.
Confrontation, which is a minis game. So then they have some minis games, basically.
Oh, the upcoming Chip Theory game Roth is designed by Manny Tremblay. Okay.
Oh yeah,
and he did the artwork.
Okay, so anyway, this is coming out, and they said that they have all the universes developed by the late Rackham, so now they're gonna have more stuff that Monolith. Monolith is essentially a miniatures company anyway.
That's exciting. I like that. That's a good one.
All right, we're done with acquisitions. Let's get to other stuff.
Phew.
Atari.
What did they buy?
Nintendo.
No.
All right, Atari launches Club Made Initiative. They're asking fans to design a new card game. So they want to make a Centipede-themed card game. There actually is a Centipede board game out there. Don't buy it. It's terrible. But the polls are open. You can cast your votes and stuff. I don't know that this is... I personally don't think these things ever end particularly well.
What is Atari doing? Atari is such a weird company these days. They used to be at the top of the world, and now it's like...
Could you make something for us?
They cobble things together. They put out that platform. They put out a new console not that long ago, which was this buggy, glitchy mess that they kickstarted. Yeah, it was like they're hanging on by their fingernails, man. They're like, Atari, you still remember our logo? We're still here.
Also, what is that picture? Is this the de-evolution of the Centipede?
That's something. The one on the left.
Okay, I'm nicer now. No, I'm just sad.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
What's going on?
That middle's a worm, that right is a dinosaur. The only centipede is the left. I mean...
That's the original one, right?
Yes.
Or at least that's what it looks like. But that last one, he's like, I'll get you. And I'm like, no, you won't. You're emo. You're just sitting over there like, could you come here so I can get you? Give me a mushroom, please.
Yeah, that's sad.
Look at this.
All right.
Atari, come on.
Here's what's not sad. Footwear, which you need.
I do.
You can get some Dungeons and Dragons shoes from Converse, which is actually not a brand I particularly like, because they take forever to lace up.
Oh.
Do you undo them every time? I'm confused.
I've stopped wearing laces,
pretty much exclusively put your foot in it kind of shoes.
Actually, I think my Rubik's
Converse.
Cubes are Converse. They might be Converse. Anyway,
you have
D&D.
Rubik's Cube themed sneakers? Gotcha.
Yeah, they're about as bright as a rainbow.
Gotcha.
This is interesting. I was at Home Depot
weird.
last week, and I saw a D&D waffle maker at Home Depot.
At Home
Depot? At Home
Depot?
Depot. I'm like, not many.
There's a lot that I need to know. First of all, there's waffle makers at Home Depot.
Oh, it was their home session. First of all, the crossover.
You sure you were at a Home Depot?
That's what I thought. The Venn diagram of construction workers. Okay, yeah, that's the big question. I was getting duct tape. It was closer than Target. But that's pretty much why. But they had, D&D waffle makers.
Anyway, the D&D, I wouldn't actually, I think the top four, you would barely even notice that they're D&D. Only the one the main one they're showing there is clearly D&D. I never liked the D&D logo. That ampersand with the dragon. It's okay.
It's pretty iconic.
Yeah,
I think it's good. It's
iconic to me because if I see you wearing a shirt, then I know you got the very first loot box. Because that was in that first loot box, that D&D shirt. So many people have that shirt. All right.
Are you able to D&D even?
Wait, how much? So. Do we know pricing on these? No, it's a limited.
Converse. They can't be that expensive.
It's a limited edition. Hater. All right, Fantasy Flight. is making some Arkham Horror comics to add to their line of very successful movies, books, and other crap that they've made in the past that no one can remember. Actually, this isn't from Fantasy Flight. It's from Dark Horse Comics.
Ooh, they're owned by someone you mentioned
Yeah,
earlier.
they are.
Well, so is Fantasy Flight. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow, that actually makes me more interested in it. I like Dark Horse stuff. They usually do a good job.
I love Dark Horse.
I wouldn't mind reading some of the Arkham Horror stuff. If they use the characters from Fantasy Flight, then when I play those same characters, that brings them to life a little bit more for me.
I agree, and this is, I actually have a couple of the books, because for Arkham Horror, the card game, they released, they did a few, and they've got more upcoming. They're just very slowly trickling out. They would sell you a novella with a character, and you could read that novella, and then that character, which was from an upcoming set, and it would come out in like a couple of years sometimes. Like, you know, they've caught up now, but they're like, you get them way ahead of time. You get an alternate power for a character that wasn't released yet. And you could use them. They gave you their card and like a boon and a bust kind of thing that goes into the deck. And so you'd read the book, you'd know about the character, and then you could be them in the game.
That's awesome. I would do that.
That's
So I'm
really
hoping
cool.
that this, even though it's a comic and looks like a brand new line, I would love for them to include a character for something.
Didn't Simon do that with their Zombicide comics? They'd come up with characters that were only for those comic sets. Remember that?
For which one?
Zombicide, right? Simon did it for Zombicide.
Oh,
I
yeah, they
think.
did it for Cthulhu Death
Cthulhu
May
Death May
Die.
Die, yeah.
They did a comic, and the characters were from the comic.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Now, I got to say this. This is one place where Fantasy Flight does beat Simon because the characters from Arkham Horror, I know, when they were like, hey, it's Jenny Barnes and Joe Diamond, I'm like, oh, I know these people. Like, they're like iconic
Fair.
because they're also like in 6 games.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, Joe Diamond, I like Joe Diamond a lot. So
Joe
this is kind
Diamond's
of cool.
a beast.
All right. Origins has done some pretty crazy stuff here where they are bringing in a bunch of guest stars. I mean, special
Comic book
guests.
owner.
But, yeah, so this should actually be rotating. Is it not rotating on your screen, Roy? I have like a...
It might be because I'm not actually in.
Okay, he's supposed to have his head sideways or something?
No. No, it's just showing you
okay,
the
there
different
we go.
people that are here. Now,
Okay.
and I'm just showing you the non-gaming industry people. There's a bunch of designers and stuff
him.
that they have. But they are bringing in a lot of people. Like, I would figure Origins would used to bring in like one person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought in Kevin Sorbo. But they also have
idea.
some... Wait, you didn't know who Jonathan Colton was?
I don't know a lot of people.
Oh, D26.
What?
So that guy's from Big Bang Theory. He's one
Yep.
of the more minor characters, and she's from
Oh, the
a bunch of
Orville.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from the Orville too.
Yeah.
And
Highlander.
I know one of these people. No, two of them.
well, Jonathan Colton is a very famous nerd musician. In fact, he runs the big cruise, the Joco cruise. Is
Okay.
his name Jonathan Colton, Joco. So that's where
Okay.
they take over the whole ship, and it's all nerd stuff. And to me, if they brought in any one of these, I would be impressed. To bring in all of them means Origins is definitely reaching for that. They're reaching
Con
for that
market.
con market, like the Comic Con, because these people, from what I understand, when you are like a minor character in a show or whatever like
Yeah.
this, a lot of your money from a con is people coming up and paying you for signatures and pictures and things like that.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm sure that's part of the contract.
I agree.
I just don't see the Origins crowd, the current Origins gaming crowd,
Doing that.
they'll care about maybe a few people, but it won't be huge lines. So I'm assuming they're trying to get a general. This could raise their attendance by 5,000 maybe.
Right.
But here's what I wonder, too. First of all, they should bring in like 20 wrestlers, too, because they always have like 20 other wrestlers nobody knows about.
That's true, they
to
do. Where are the
fill
wrestlers'
those
Origins?
booths. They're going to be there. But then, like, they're going to pump their numbers, but will that translate to sales for the merchandisers? I wonder how that balance is going to hit, you know?
I don't think there's a one-to-one there at all. I mean, I
No.
suppose if there's more people, they might buy more things, but...
That's why because people will come to see these and get a picture and autograph. That's going to pump numbers.
Right.
One of the ones that's not on here is the Muppet Mayhem Band. I don't know who they are, but they do Muppet covers. I need to hunt these people down in general. But
need
listen,
them.
so we just showed you those people, but look at all the people here. They got Matt Leacock and James Ernest and John Kovalik, and Mike Elliott, Elizabeth Hargrave, Matt Forbeck, Jay Little, Elise Teague, Luke Gygax, Tim Beach, Keith Baker, Chris O'Neill, Scott Brady, Kelsey
Gygax.
Dion, Stephen Bonacore, and then there's a whole list of authors on top of this.
They
Now-
should have in Zee Garcia should be there. You
They
heard of
did.
him?
I
From
have-
the Dice
I have
Tower?
not.
Brandon Sanderson or that. That's crazy.
I wonder what their order of listing people is. Like, did they put them in importance because it's not alphabetical. And Matt Leacock is really well known, but Elizabeth Hargrave I would put as number. But James Ernest and John Kovlik is known for.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
he's
how
the
they
artist
do
for
this.
Munchkin and Apples to Apples.
Okay.
It might be when they signed up. Who knows? You know what I mean? Or when they confirmed them.
Also, several of these people are former Hall of Fame
Marines.
recipients of Lifetime Achievement, so
Yes.
some of that's in here too. Luke Gygax, I'm assuming, is the son of Gary Gygax.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, this is a ton of special guests.
Really?
That is
is.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Like that's a big shift.
They're only missing one big one. Zee Garcia, I guess. Zee Garcia.
you're not
They
wrong
can't
about
get him.
the big one.
Game
All right. So,
Is that a fat joke?
no.
Horrible. Wow, that's horrible. That's horrible.
That's you, not us. All right, let's go to the next thing.
mean.
So, speaking of awards, because notice we're not talking about the Origins Awards.
Okay.
The Origins Awards have not announced their. They're not announcing their nominations actually yet, which is weird. Anyway, but the Mensa Select winners have announced, and the Mensa Select, it's always, to me, it's always a weird category that these people say we're the smartest people around.
That's correct.
Here's some very basic games that we recommend, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I mean,
Okay,
I don't
all right.
care. It's just weird. Their choices have
misread
definitely
that.
gotten better as time has gone by. Because you know these games, and they're all,
Yeah.
but they're all simple games. And part of the reason that they're simple games is their selection process is usually a weekend, and a bunch of people come in, and you go and play that game, play that. You just go from table to table.
Okay.
So it definitely favors shorter games. Although I would say First in Flight isn't that short.
No.
But Wandering Towers, Veil of Eternity, and The Footsteps of Darwin, all very fairly light games.
So Mensa Select, is it like saying this is for smart people?
Kinda.
It kind of, because I mean, some of those, I don't see that.
I'm of the opinion that it's one of the best things to put on your box.
Mensa
I
Select?
would. Because parents will see that and be like,
this
my
makes
kid will be smart if I
this
buy
makes
this
my
for him."
kid smart.
Okay, that's
They
a
don't
good
have
point.
a sense of how dumb their kids are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Folks, average, it means average, okay? Half your children are below that. Maybe for this
Yeah.
audience, slightly less than half. There's a compliment for the day.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about some games. Flame and Fang. This is coming from Escape Velocity Games.
I
It's
like
a
that
cooperative game for up to 4 players in which you grow wings and fight for survival.
Yes.
It's like a lucky
It's like
In a
a
world.
worm span.
Hang on, I gotta do my. In a world where
Yeah.
dragons were thought to be extinct,
Yeah.
somehow a clutch of eggs survived. Now hatched, the siblings must struggle to thrive in a harsh world that doesn't seem to want them there. I wonder why people don't want dragons around. Worse yet, you've
Haters.
attracted the attention of an evil presence that's begun to stalk them.
Oh no, it's a young adult fiction.
So you need to manage. Find your true love. No. Here's what you need to do. You have 3 aspects that you need to manage: the need to fight, the desire for flight, and the thirst for the hunt. That doesn't rhyme.
Oh,
That really is a drop.
I was excited.
All right, what was it? What were the other two? What was it?
Fight.
The need to fight,
Flight.
the desire
Need
for
to
flight,
fight.
and the thirst for the hunt.
You got and the thirst for new heights.
We got
Flight, fight,
that.
thirst for new heights.
So you're going Limerick more than like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyway, deck crafting, hand management, action selection, cooperative planning. It was crowdfunded in November 2023, and as you can see, we all very much remember that. I don't remember it at all. Anyway, it's coming to backers this
that.
in quarter 2, which we're in as of today. Oh wait, are we already in quarter 2?
No.
Yeah, April is quarter 2. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
less
not
excited
even-
now.
Not even close to there. We're never getting this.
We're in the second third of the year.
We're getting there.
We're in the 2024.
All right.
What? Yeah.
Chicago Dry. This is a game from Sergio Halaban and the publisher
Fun to say.
Budo. They have offices in Brazil, Argentina, and Spain. Anyway, this is
Budo.
set in the Prohibition
What is it?
era.
Budo.
It's 1 R.
It's 1 R.
It's Budo.
That's correct. It's Budo, yeah.
Anyhow,
You know what that means?
so in this game, you are trying to look for a way around
Dog.
Prohibition to bring bottled fun to Chicago's hidden pubs and speakeasies.
Yes.
So this actually has a very similar feel to Bootleggers.
It's the same
theme, huh?
theme as bootleggers. You're sort of running the alcohol and hiding it.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So Sergio,
Ticket to
You don't know who
Dragons.
Sergio Halaban is?
well, I'm going to give a list of all his games.
You
I mean,
know
his
one
biggest
at
one is
least.
obviously Sheriff of Nottingham,
Halaban.
Quartz, and well, that's pretty much it. He's done a few other ones,
He
but
did
none of them have really-
Matryoshka, and he did the one with Formula E with Fedudi.
Yeah, his biggest
Did
one
he,
is that one game he made also that they made the 7 Dwarves in the Snow White.
With the gems?
And Friday
Oh,
the
yeah, I like that
13th
one. That's cute.
one, which you probably played.
He's got a few games. He did a lot of work with Fedudi, Bruno Fedudi.
All right, so that's Chicago Dry. What happens then? Now we go to Rebuilding Chicago.
What?
Because we wrecked it.
That happens.
So this is, I think,
We
a
were
sequel
drunk.
to Rebuilding Seattle.
Right.
That's a great cover, by the way.
It's really good.
This is a
sit on that
standalone
beam.
successor to Rebuilding Seattle. Same designer, same publisher, WizKids, which is interesting because I really thought WizKids' board game branch was fading out.
That's what I thought, too. I thought it was done. But maybe they have a couple left in the pipe.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
That's cool, though. I like the first one.
I did too. So this also will come with a solo player deck, so you can play by yourself.
I like the pollution right there on the left. Just a little bit. Anybody else notice that?
All right, Publish
They're
or
rebuilding.
Perish. This is from Winye Kalse. And
Ooh, I
this
haven't seen
is a game that it won 3rd place in the 2021 Zenobia Awards. That's where I heard about it before. And this is also coming from WizKids. And this is, Machu Picchu. Everyone's thinking about it. What was the reason for it? So you are stepping into these historical scholars and you are going to try to write about this. You can even basically make stuff up, I guess, as you do it. You're writing history.
I love it.
finding
That's the best way.
evidence, But also,
I knew it.
you're filling it in. That's a really cool theme.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that is coming November of this year.
Huh. It looks kind of dry, but...
All right, Zeno Language.
Oh.
This is a game about alien language and human memory.
Oh.
Well, this is basically a rival of the board game, then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
By the way,
It is.
Mike
It
is.
pointed out the last game, the Winye Kalse, was the original name of the game, actually. Sorry.
The designer
The
was
designer is
Machu Picchu.
Allison Collins. Okay,
Oh,
but anyway.
makes more sense.
So Zeno Language. This is a 3 to 4 player game. Came out in April, so I guess it's already out from Thorny Games. So it's about first contact with alien life, messy human relationships, and what happens when they mix together. Coming this
Done.
fall to CBS.
I know, that's what it sounds like.
In a world.
Anyway, you're using a platform, a custom channeling board of mysterious origin. You're using a planchette-like lens to channel over alien symbols as you receive and interpret messages. I'm a little worried about this because this is like
It's like a Ouija board, man. I don't want to mess with no Ouija board.
The aliens are contacting me!
Except you've got a UFO that you move around.
Oh, I don't know about this.
All right, well. So, Looney Labs has another pyramid game coming out. It's been a while since they've announced one of these. This one is called Jinx, and hilariously, and Hijinks.
Jinx and hijinks.
So, I don't know if this is a new game. So, they have these pyramids that they've had for years. They
Yeah.
used to sell them. It was like their main seller for a
Yeah,
while.
as a set, right.
And you could buy different colors, and then you could mix and match them. Then they sold a big box of all this stuff a few years
that's
ago.
the one I played with, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this one looks interesting. I mean, it looks very small.
This is an actual new game. It wasn't part of the
They said they're
arcade.
excited to announce a new game in the Looney Pyramids collection.
Okay.
So you're going to play. There's so that's 4 different colors. That's black, gray, white, and clear. And you're jockeying position on a 3x3 board using pyramid size and die roll to determine possible moves. I don't know. It says it's a mid-level strategy game, and also it has rules in the box for hijinks. So I don't know.
Interesting.
They have a good. They have enough collateral for me. I would play this and be very interested.
Oh, yeah,
in it.
absolutely.
They
No,
had some really interesting. What's that all queens game called? Where everyone's a queen. Like all the pyramids move like a queen, or was it? What's that called? Was it called all queens? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember that. My favorite is definitely Martian Chess. Martian Chess is a great game.
Well, my favorite's still Zendo, but yeah, they have a lot of great games. Okay. Some new Pandasaurus games. First, we have Umbrella, which I think we may have seen a little bit before, but this is coming out very soon.
That's right.
Where you're going to be putting umbrellas on a 4x4 grid.
That's from that festival, right? It's based on that festival.
I don't know. It just says
that the one?
This is a crowd of umbrellas fills the streets in New York. So I don't think so. You're thinking of that one where they were like
yeah,
down that street. That's a little different.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Also from Pandasaurus, we have Infiltrators, where you are working together to get rid of traitors. This one I am much less interested in because the number of games that are out there.
So this is originally from Broadway, which I believe is a Korean company, if I'm not mistaken.
Taiwan, I think.
Taiwan, okay. I like their stuff. I like what they put out. So I'm interested in this, just to see what, if Pandasaurus picked it up and it was originally from Broadway, that's two companies that said yes to it. I'm interested.
Yeah.
All right, this one just came into the Dice Tower. Don't skip leg day.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you can't do that. Oh, I like that. It's like
And when you're done,
Actual shake.
so I got it. I think you could actually use that.
That's so bizarre.
Wow.
Alrighty, well, I mean, if the game's done, you'll be like, well, we can salvage this.
Yeah, I guess if
Hate
it
that
doesn't work
packaging,
out.
though. All right. So Orleans has a big box that you can pre-order. Although I got to say, maybe just me, I went to the website to look at pre-ordering it, and it was all in German, and I got confused. And then in the middle of my confusion, I thought, do I really want a big box of Orleans? And I backed out.
Okay.
For the library. But this is Orleans with its first 3 expansions, and the third one just came out.
Got it.
So you'll be able to get everything in one. I think they're going to have extra stuff like individual trader figures, embroidered cloth bags, metal coins. I'm sure it's really nice. They said, though, very clearly, pre-order this if you want it. There might be some left over at Essen. But if you want it, get it now, because you might not otherwise.
Okay.
So get it now so that you may sit it on your shelf and never play it.
I
You
like
play
the
Orleans
sound of
again.
that.
Yeah.
It's a great game, Orleans.
I love it, but I don't know if the bigger the box, the less it hits the table.
It really is the case. That's like a gaming law, not one of my laws. That's just an actual law.
Yeah. It's
All right, DC deck building game, Crisis Collection 2. I was laughing about this to Mike because I was like, I guess this hasn't come out yet, but I wouldn't know because all
This
these
has
boxes
definitely
look-
come out before. Just all they're doing is combining Crisis Pack 3 and Crisis Pack 4 into a new SKU, which is now the Crisis Collection 2. These exist, of course. Like they have, they're probably past 4 at this point.
The covers always look very similar to me
They
because
do,
there's a
yeah,
bunch
it's
of the
just like
heroes all standing
Bad
heroically.
superhero poster. Every covers that. But no, this is crazy to me that now they're not just continuing to support this line, which is cool, but going back and combining small things into new things to sell you. That's wild to me.
Oh, Senshin has always done that too. They would
Yeah.
have all their expansions, and they're like, "And I'll box." I'm like, so what's the thing I don't like about these is I'm always confused. This happened with Carcassonne. You're like, here's the big box of Carcassonne. It has 4 of the expansions. Here's another big
Not the
box
first 4.
that has 3 random other.
They had the big box 2, which was not the content of the big box 1, except for the core game. What?
That's why I stopped trying to keep track of the ones I have, because then they just start to do this mess. Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go back to WizKids. WizKids is bringing another Star Trek game with miniatures. Now, they've done this before.
Ooh.
The original one was Star
I
Trek
like
Attack
those.
Wing, which they licensed from Fantasy Flight at the time. Although, how that worked and how it was, both companies absolutely refused to comment on on how that licensing deal worked. I definitely asked, and they were like, none of your beeswax, or something more politer than that. This one looks like it's different. There's no spinning dials on the bottom of the bases, as many of WizKids miniatures games do. The original one didn't either, but it looks different. It says that it's an epic adventure across the galaxy. It features the most detailed Star Trek ship models in tabletop gaming. Yeah, because you know why? There's none others. That's kind of what other Star Trek miniatures are there?
I don't know. I don't know Star Trek stuff.
Ascendancy? Are there minis in that?
Ooh, that is interesting. Yeah, but those are little tiny plastic ones. So of course, these are going to be more detailed. WizKids should not necessarily brag about their miniature quality, I think. It's fine, but no one's calling their
that
stuff
was
great.
then. This is now.
Okay, fine. Anyhow, you got an officer,
looks
crew, explore the galaxy. So I don't know how much of a miniatures game this is, or if it's closer to their Star Trek The one where you went out and explored the galaxy? I don't know.
That's what it looks like a little bit.
Explore,
Isn't
negotiate,
Into the
battle.
Unknown, that song from Frozen 2?
I know. That's what bothers me. Come on, man.
Into the unknown.
I know. You're going to see that every time. Like,
Into the unknown. Okay.
I'd rather call it Engage or something else.
You're excited about this next one. Pagan, Fate of Roanoke.
Yeah,
It's coming from Capstone Games.
Is this already out?
Joey and I,
We've already
did you
played
and I
this.
review this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
Capstone
Capstone's
has it.
picking them
That's
up.
what. That's
Oh,
the big
okay. All
thing.
right. I liked this one.
Yeah, this is a good game, folks. If you want to know more, go check out Joey and my review of it.
And it's coming at Gen Con from Capstone.
This needs to get
Boy.
a wider group of people finding
We
it.
both thought that, and I'm glad that it is happening.
Yeah, this is nice.
But that's not it from Capstone. They got a bunch of games coming. They got Raising Chicago, Epos, Dulcima, Vita, Tangram City, and Pirates of Maracaibo. I know
Wow.
that Chris loved that one.
Wow, who they get that from? Or is that theirs?
Spielworks, most of it is from Spielworks, right?
Well, no, they're from different ones. That Tangram City's from Korean Board Games.
They're from
The top
Korea.
three are from Spielworks, and then the bottom one is the
Gotta get
Pirates
one.
is from, I can't see the name of that one, but yeah.
Games, something with an S. Isn't Raising Chicago also a follow-up to Raising something else? Was there another, or did we play Raising Chicago? Maybe I'm
Looks familiar.
confusing now that there's so many Chicago games. I'm confusing.
No, we
them.
definitely didn't play Racing Chicago because I would know if you played a Spielworks game.
I play Spielworks games.
Name 6.
Yeah, that's the Zee Garcia move. But they should invite to the Origins Game Fair, by the way, if they really want to have a proper
Well, they would invite you if
roster.
you could name 6 Spielworks games.
They would, probably.
All right. U.S. publisher Barrel Aged Games. They debuted in 2017 with a game called Stool Pigeon. Anyway, they're bringing Fruitoplay and Plantopia to America. I believe. Did I play Plantopia? I know I played Fruitoplay. I like that game a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
we played Fruitoplay. That got reviewed here as well, and it's really neat. It's a good card game. Plantopia, I don't know about. It is adorable. Tell you that much.
For you.
All right. Shandar is a new game from Luda Nova. And this is coming from Asmodee May 24th. So this is the Indian government, 1951, commissioned a renowned architect to design a new capital for the state of Punjab. And this is the name of that city. It's an actual city, and you're building this city up here. Different sectors crossing at junctions, and you're going to move your architect around to different junctions to place buildings and spots. Sounds fun. The pieces look cool, and I love the theme.
Yeah, that's
Look at
a
that
neat
cover, too.
looking board and a very specific theme. I like seeing
Yeah.
that.
Unique.
All right, Australis. Here is a
Maybe
new
pronounced
game
Australia.
coming from Cosmos, and this is from Leo Calavini and Alessandro Zucchini. Stand your ground in the East Australian current where you have to make your way as a sea turtle.
That box looks thick.
This is one of the few designers in the world that I am so wary of, Leo Calavini.
Leo Calavini? What do you mean?
Oh, man. But
Leo Calavini's a beast.
now, if it was just Leo Calavini, I would straight up refuse to play it.
Oh my goodness, but you like that Zucchini, don't you?
I don't know.
You love Zucchini games.
Let's move on anyway.
Games.
This is coming out in April. No, wait, is it April? No, this is...
Look, I trust Cosmos. I don't know if this game is going to be for me, but I know it's going to be well finalized. And yes, while Leo Calavini's games tend to feel very abstract, and sometimes a little soulless, I'm happy to try out whatever they come out with.
All right, well, let's talk about some exciting things. The brands, and this is no longer Marcus and Inca brand, but it's Marcus, Inca, and their daughter Emily.
Emily Brand,
The
ladies
first
and gentlemen.
two, she is the co-designer of, so you have the family. So there's two family ones, Schloss Geimenstein and Mission Candyland. So there's that.
Okay.
So there you're gonna. That's for it is 8+. So this is more like the younger exits, I guess. That's
Okay.
you have a cool team of animal superheroes that forms a secret club to solve riddles.
Aww.
Then exit the puzzle, the Library of Dreams, and you're gonna first build a 500-piece puzzle. So they've already done some exit puzzles, but the puzzles were like this size.
Yeah, and it was sort of like
Right.
4 puzzles in one box. They were small. You'd build one, do a couple of puzzles. build the next, answer a couple questions. Yeah, this is very different.
This is where you build the puzzle, and then you use the details in the image and the included story to solve 7 riddles. So Emily is involved with those. And then they're making a new advent calendar called the Intergalactic Race, in which you help Team Santa Claus in a race across space. The themes of these advent calendars are getting more and more like, what do we do next?
I know.
They're stretching.
There was a time machine, and the last one we were attacked by a giant at Santa headquarters. There's a lot of stuff going on in these things. That being said, so good. Advent calendars from Exit. They're fantastic.
You get it every year, right?
The last 2 years, anyway.
Yeah, they're really good. That's one of my favorite products from the line, the Exit line.
I agree. All right, Carl Chuddick has a new game coming out called Panda Spin, with a pretty rough-looking panda there.
Carl Chuddick.
Yeah, if you want to know who Carl Chuddick is, he did Innovation. This is a climbing and shedding card game for 2 to 5 players. It's coming from a publisher called Moongate Design, and Matago's helping them out. So you're just trying to get rid of your cards. It's a climbing game, but you have double header cards. So all cards start with the orange animals to the top, but you get a random wind card, which has a unique playing condition. And during the game, you lay down cards as two tricks as singles, runs, blah, 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 blah.
So basically a ladder
But there's bombs,
game.
but if you pass, if you play cards and all those cards have orange, you flip them so the blue animals come at the top. So their values will change.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Scout. It's actually, Scout already is kind of a ladder climbing game. So it's like Scout.
The Panda game.
We'll find out. I'll give it a whirl.
Carl Chuddick, man. It's good to see something new from Carl Chuddick. Yeah.
There's not enough Panda games, so we also have Panda Panda. This is coming from All Play.
Twice as good.
This is a new little tiny games that when they go on our shelves in the background, we'll have to put a magnifying glass in front so you can see it.
But again, if that law you said holds true, this game being so small, we'll play like 100 times the first month.
I don't think it works that way, but
No, it's a curve, because the smaller games sometimes they don't get played because you forget they're there.
right.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
All right, this next gorgeous cover is called Suna Valo. And so I was looking at it, like, what? I've never seen a windmill that big. That's because this is a fantasy game. It takes place in a world of solar punk. The world's overgrown, and they're calling it solar punk. That's kind of I like that terminology. So it says 2 individuals. This is a 2-player game, and you're building this, you're building new buildings and harvesting things you're harvesting goods with drones and river ships. And yeah, I'm so impressed with that cover, that art, that cover. I just think it looks really pretty. Very much like a painting.
That is a painting, Tom.
Yeah. Okay. So, Repos has announced, kind of, a new game from Antoine Bauza and Bruno Catala. Hey, it's the same team that made Seven Wonders Duel. But as it's been spoiled in multiple places around the internet, this is Lord of the Rings, Seven Wonders Duel. Basically, it's Lord of the Rings Duel. That's all we know. I don't know more than that.
On our video yesterday.
Shut up! Oh, what is wrong with you?
Oh, sorry.
And other places on the internet was spoiled. And that is actually the truth. I did read it other places. I was like, well, it's out there.
Good, yeah.
Also, I'm not sure what they expected people to think either. But that's a cool cover. It's a 2-trait cover, I'm assuming.
That's not the cover, I'm sure.
Oh, that's the teaser poster.
It's just a tease, yeah.
That definitely has a coming to a theater near you.
It does.
Absolutely.
But that's so funny. That's so iconic. I mean, you see that immediately, you're like, okay.
Yeah, no, I hope it's good.
I'm very excited for that, and I'm not even like a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
What?
Not
I
like,
see it now.
Roy's a huge Lord
But
of the
you're a
Rings.
huge Seven Wonders Duel fan.
I am. So if I was like, I like Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong. I'm very much enjoy that stuff, but if it was like my, main IP, I would be over the moon. That's a great combination.
Yeah.
All right. Then the 2 biggest pieces of news, I'm excited about both of these. First, we have Vantage. This is coming from Jamie Stegmaier, Stonemaier Games. And this time, normally, Jamie he loves his fellow gamers. He'll say, I got a game coming, and it's shipping in 1 month.
Yes.
Back it down, pre-order down. We're all excited because no one else does that.
Yes.
Well, that's not the case here. Here he's like, 2025. But I'm going to start wetting your palate now because You should wet someone else's palate. But anyhow. But anywho.
Stegmaier gets away with a lot.
So this game, though, you're going to crash on a planet. It's a cooperative game. You crash on a planet. I guess you're communicating with each other, and you're at different spots on the planet.
Yeah.
And you're going around this planet. No expansions. It's not a campaign game either. It's a single game that you play, but also, I think there's he said there's 800 different location cards.
Wow.
And 900 other cards you can discover. That's crazy amount of content. And he's basically billing it as kind of like a roguelike game because you can go back and play and you're on the same planet, crash at different spots.
It's kind of like I was telling you about this. This is a little bit like No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Where somehow he's put so much content in this box, or will put so much content in it, that it's going to feel like it's procedurally generated. It's so big. So every time you're like, this planet, I don't know, it's volcanic and there's wildlife, or this planet is covered in lush whatever, and the animals are different. I don't know what this is going to be, but it sounds so large that I'm having a hard time just wrapping my head around everything in there. You know, is it going to be like Seventh Continent, Seventh Citadel style game, like that big?
Right. And finding that balance when you do something like that
it's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody can pull it off, I think he'll be able to pull it off.
That's true. He already made coins for this game, metal coins that you can order now.
Yeah, which is very
that
funny
was
to me.
funny.
Yeah, but I looked at them. I was like, do I need sci-fi coins for some of my games? Because I think I do.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of hold me back on this news is because Jamie is a great game designer and makes great games. He's often bad at pre-hyping his games. He'll compare them sometimes. I remember when Scythe came out. He's like, it's kind of like Agricola. And I was like, oh my word. And I played Scythe. It's not like Agricola at all.
No, but it's good.
You know, so here he's like, there's a love letter to Breath of the Wild. I'm like, oh wait, hang on. That's him. A love letter could also just be like, hey, I love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while it's great, I'm going to wait till we see more about it. But I am excited, and this would have been the main thing I'm most excited about of the week, except for a piece of next news.
What is possibly bigger than this?
Nothing's
Vasel?
bigger than this.
That's a lie. We have the Mandalorian Adventures.
No, you need to
adventure
reverse
book.
these two things.
You think so?
Yeah, Manda who?
Okay, well, you get out of here.
Okay.
The Mandalorian Adventure. So this is designed from Unexpected Games, living up to their name. I was amazed that they got the rights to do a board game based on Star Wars. And this is from Corey Konieczka. And if you haven't heard of Corey Konieczka, throw a dart at a Star Wars board game. He's designed it. He's done Star Wars Rebellion. He's done Outer Rim. He was involved with the Star Wars Destinies game. He's Star Wars.
He used to work for Fantasy Flight Games and did a lot of their big games. Yeah, absolutely. This is a bit of a return to
Imperial Assault, yeah.
A bit of a return to what he used to do, but now under his own company, Unexpected Games.
This straight up looks like from last decade Fantasy Flight games.
I know, it's
Straight
weird
up.
that this seems nostalgic. Like, I look at this and I go, oh man, like the lost Fantasy Flight game that we never got kind of thing.
Yeah,
that is a good way to put it. Great cover. The art looks, even the art on that picture looks like Fantasy Flight artwork from that era.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited about this. It says it's coming out in Q3, which, crossing fingers, might mean some will be at Gen Con.
That's
that would
May,
be
right?
awesome.
Just kidding.
Got slapped with my computer. Anyhow, so yeah, and there's also a book. You're going through that book. There's 8 unique characters you can play. Each has their own set of cards and strategies. And there's an illustrated map book to go through. And it's season 1. Season 1 of The Mandalorian.
This is an adventure book style game like the Lord of the Rings.
I don't think. I hope not, because those are okay, but they're not.
So this is more involved in those.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think so.
No, it looks like the book is a map. However, it says the game is going to grow as you go through the scenarios. There'll be new rules, components, and mission types, even a hidden traitor. No, he had hidden traitors in the game, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, in the show. People betrayed him.
Yeah.
Grogu, remember Grogu was actually a Sith?
What? You haven't seen the end.
Oh, man.
When that saber comes out the other side.
I will say, for a while when I was watching, I was like, are they going to have the guts to make Grogu go bad? I thought they were going to do that for a bit there.
Yeah.
Especially when he committed genocide.
The frogs? Oh my goodness, that was dark.
Oh, he was just hungry.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Anyway, the hidden trader's not all the way there. It looks like it just says you can add that different mission things. I guess you don't have to play with it. Either way, very hyped about this one.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
There we go, folks. 50 minutes of news. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of news.
Well, also, it's been like 3 weeks since we've done the news, so...
True.
That's true.
Who's buying who next? That is the question.
Taking all bets.
All right, anyway, thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
I'm Joy Evans.
I look at you to mess you up.
I know you.
Yeah,
I was like,
definitely
wait, is it
felt
me?
that too, you know.
I
You
was
looked
like,
over there.
Saw the news. There you go, folks. See you next time.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.